From MTN News, you're watching Montana This Morning.
Gallatin City County Health Department's health officer Matt Kelly weighs in on COVID-19 at Montana State University. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and I'll have that story coming up.
Joe Biden is moving ahead with plans to move into the White House. Coming up, learn who he may have on tap to join his administration, including some Republicans.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this Monday, Chet Lehman, Holly Brantley, Matt Elwell. Matt Elwell moving along with his plans to stay out of the doghouse.
I'm trying.
Project. I know you are. This weather is making it a little challenging, however.
It is. I have some projects I need to do a little staining.
Your other full-time job.
And then some.
Boy, you are digging me a hole that I'm going to jump right into. Temperatures this morning extremely cold. We have slick conditions. That's our main concerns early this morning. We're not seeing a lot of active snow. Yes, I do have a doghouse.
Not your to-do list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Montana Pass cameras mainly seeing snow and ice on most of the area roadways, so it is going to be a slow go, but we're not looking at any active snow showers. It's the ice that's already on the ground that's the biggest issue for the morning. Leave some extra time today. Temperatures only into the 20s. That means that ice is not going to just melt all by itself. We're going to need a little help throughout the day. We'll talk more about the sun that may help and what you can expect getting toward the weekend. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. It is now 6:30. Montana, which is among the states with the fastest growing number of COVID cases, reports 819 new COVID-19 cases, 4 new deaths related to the virus.
That brings the death toll in Montana to 474. Right now, the state is tracking just shy of 14,000 active cases and 458 active hospitalizations. Gallatin County added the second highest total of new reported cases, according to health officials, tallying 181 new cases behind Yellowstone County's 188 new cases. Gallatin County health officials also say 1,442 cases are currently active. Silverbow County adds 61 new cases, marking 315 as active. You can find all the latest numbers on our website.
Well, Montana State University reported its highest number of new COVID-19 cases last week as well. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has the details.
While restaurants, bars, and other local businesses across Gallatin County are adjusting to the new Board of Health regulations, Health Officer Matt Kelly says Montana State University is adjusting to some of their own problems. The Gallatin City County Health Department reported 212 new cases of COVID-19 at Montana State University for last week's reporting period. At last week's Board of Health meeting, Health Officer Matt Kelly says he's in daily conversations with the university and says the increase in cases is creating some strain.
The conversation had to do with isolation and quarantine housing for students. That capacity is being pushed to the limit. MSU is doing great work in doing everything they can to find more housing.
And that's not the only concern.
Our testing system is showing signs of stress. We're hearing about longer waits for specimen collection. We're seeing more demand there at MSU. There's testing sites going on, as well as the people working in the labs, working very hard every day in the labs to get results.
Kelly says the stress on the testing system is not just at MSU, but county-wide.
We're hearing about concerns now about emerging shortages of reagents that are needed to run some of the testing equipment.
At the Board of Health meeting on Friday, Kelly said as cases continue to climb, contact tracing has become even more difficult to keep up with, both on campus and off. Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
6:33 now on the national scene. So who will President-elect Joe Biden surround himself when he's inaugurated in January? And how might that impact you and the issues in this country?
Our Joe St. George takes a look at what might change as a result of who the president-elect puts in his cabinet.
Now that the victory speech has been given,
the people of this nation have spoken.
The transition begins at Transition 46 launching on Twitter. But who will be in President-elect Joe Biden's cabinet and how will federal agencies change?
But you should know that President-elect Joe Biden is not beginning this process of who may be in his cabinet. He's actually had a transition team for months who have already been vetting potential prospects.
Senator Chris Coons of Delaware has been mentioned as a possible Secretary of State, as has former National Security Advisor Susan Rice. Whoever is in charge would be tasked with rebuilding relationships with other countries and international organizations. They would be involved in rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement and the World Health Organization. Over at the Department of Justice, Senator Doug Jones of Alabama or DNC Chair Tom Perez could be Attorney General, a post that will address police reform and this mission from the president-elect.
And root out systemic racism in this country.
Senator Elizabeth Warren has been floated as a possible Treasury Secretary, a department that'll determine the future COVID economic relief payments and whether taxes should be increased on corporations and those making over $400,000. Of course, there will be no greater challenge than dealing with this pandemic, which is why New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham could be the next Health and Human Services Secretary. She used to be in charge of health agencies before entering politics and would be part of a discussion around a national mask mandate. Because of how divided this country is, though, look for possible Republicans to be considered for top jobs, too. Former Ohio Governor John Kasich is a contender, as is former Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
6:35 now. Every month we bring you our series. We call it A Waiting Child. This month's Waiting Child features Shayla.
She's 12, kind, and has a love for life and is looking for a forever home. MTN's John Riley introduces us.
Meet Shayla. Like many 12-year-olds, she loves gymnastics, TikTok, being creative, and music. She even taught herself to play the ukulele.
I actually got it on my birthday, and before I was using my hairbrush because I really wanted to play the ukulele, and they got a ukulele for my birthday, and that's when I started playing, and I self-taught myself, and I also have a casa that is helping me too.
Known for providing leadership and being a positive role model for her peers, she also has an infectious smile and a laugh that warms the heart. Shayla has known trauma in her life, but despite that, she's compassionate, resilient, and forgiving. In a forever home, she's hoping to find a family that understands depression and can be patient with her, just like she'll be patient with them.
I feel like if they're patient with me and I'm patient with them, that either way it'll work out. I think they can see like who I really am, and because it takes a little bit, and I think that I'm kind, and I think that's the most important thing.
I love that. Our Waiting Child. If you are interested in learning more about it, head on over to our website. So for young people looking for their forever home.
What a doll.
It's a great series.
Absolutely.
I like it. 6:37. How about we take a quick break? Come back to campaign of President Donald Trump preparing for a public relations blitz, questioning the outcome of the election. What's in the works? Coming up.
But first, here's what to expect at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, former Vice President Joe Biden begins his first week as America's president-elect, and he's already laying out the priorities for his administration. Find out what he's expected to announce today. Plus, President Trump repeats his false claims of widespread election fraud. His legal team is expected to file more lawsuits this week. Will any of these challenges actually make a difference? And we remember Alex Trebek with a look at the legacy of the longtime Jeopardy host, some 8,000 episodes. All that coming up when we see you at 7.